It has been a minute. So it has been a little while since I uploaded my last video, and so much has happened during that time. As you can tell by the title of this video, this is part 2 of my experience moving abroad. So if you haven't seen part 1 yet, please go back, watch that first, and then come back here. It has been over 4 months since we left Australia, which is crazy. The time has gone so fast, and we have done a lot. We ate our way through Bangkok, we lived out our island life fantasies in Koh Tao, we experienced pranayama yoga for the first time, we learned how to free dive, we also had our first ever night dive, which was so cool. We then explored Koh Phangan for a few days before heading to Koh Samui. I'm talking plenty of beautiful beaches, a lot of marine life, national parks, boat trips, Pig Island, and a lot of palm trees. These 3 islands each have so much to offer, and they're completely different to each other, so each island has a unique vibe. We then went inland to Khao National Park, and this has to be one of the most beautiful places on this earth. We had a 2-night stay in a floating bungalow, which was really cool, on the water, surrounded by giant limestone formations, and I'm pretty sure the world's oldest evergreen rainforest.
This is a bit sketchy actually. We're in the end one. Bathrooms. And we've got a couch. Is that there's no aircon, is there? There's a that's alright.
Khao National Park is like stepping into a scene from Jurassic Park, and I don't think we've ever stayed anywhere so incredible. Waking up to the sounds of birds and cicadas and even monkeys was food for the soul, and going swimming in the prettiest aqua-coloured fresh water and staring up at the mountains that surrounded us was a very surreal feeling. Besides its natural beauty, sorry about that. Excuse you, I'm trying to film a video. How rude. As its natural beauty, I think what made the park feel even more special was how quiet it was, and there were still tourists that would come through during the day, but for a majority of our stay, it felt like we were the only 2 people in the park, which was really cool. I think that is partly because it was low season, but also because of the location. It is a little bit more inland and a bit more north from the south and all the islands where everyone tends to go. But I hope that even during high season, it can maintain some of that serenity. We took a kayak and went to explore some of the hidden beaches and islands and big rock formations along the lake's edge, but unfortunately we didn't see any dinosaurs. What the fuck? The first few weeks in Thailand felt like a dream, but it was not long after that I started to notice some changes in how I was feeling. We were visiting some of the most beautiful places on this planet, but at one point I started to feel I guess just really exhausted, and I was really craving some space.
I'm feeling like some emotions are coming to the surface, or that I'm sort of running out of fuel a little bit. Sometimes when there's absolutely nothing wrong and everything's actually going really well, and there's nothing to complain about. I'm in such a beautiful place at the moment, but sometimes when you feel emotional and there's no solid reason as to why that is, we feel like we need to justify it, why we're so upset or why we're crying or whatever. But sometimes we just need to cry, and that's it.
I was having mood swings, breakdowns, just feeling a lot more sensitive to things, which, if you know me, I'm already quite a sensitive person, so that's saying something. I noticed that I became easily frustrated with little daily annoyances, and all of that energy that I had the first few weeks of the trip just turned into feeling very deflated all the time. As obvious as it sounds, I realized that no matter where you are in the world, feelings of frustration, sadness, anger, whatever, they're always going to catch up with you at some point, and that's okay because we're human. I also think that the weeks and months leading up to leaving and the first few weeks in Thailand was just one really big, intense high, and at some point I had to calm down. Then I got sick.
Well, I look like absolute shit. It's probably because I feel shit. I am definitely sick. Both Bob and I have caught something and have really been feeling it over the last few days. So it's the next day. Yesterday I was such a mess. Today I'm a mess too, but so this is like day 8 of being sick as hell. I'm just feeling so sleep deprived.
It dragged on for nearly 3 weeks and just felt like it got worse and worse. I had the worst cough, a sore throat, blocked nose, blocked ears, brain fog, and absolutely no energy. The reason I'm bringing this up now as part of my experience moving abroad is that being physically sick really triggered my homesickness in a way that I never expected it to.
My energy is so low. Every day I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'll feel better, and then I wake up in the morning just feeling so crap. What I've been like noticing as well is like times like this has just brought on a bit of like homesickness too. Just really like to be home at the moment. And like, I'm grateful that we are where we are right now. Like, we've got an Airbnb at the moment, so I'm grateful to be here. I'm just missing home a bit.
I wasn't sleeping well. I was waking up multiple times throughout the night, and I remember thinking that I would do anything just to have one night back home in my own bed or just be somewhere that I felt more comfortable. I do just want to say that I recognize that these aren't big problems and that there are people dealing with much, much worse. I am so grateful and I'm so fortunate to be able to have this experience. I was just dealing with a bad case of homesickness, and I think also being physically sick just made me a little bit more sensitive than normal. As strange as it sounds, I think it was around this time that it actually hit me that we weren't going back to Australia anytime soon. I think up until this point, it kind of just felt like we were on holidays, which I guess makes sense. But after spending 3 weeks inside feeling sick as hell, it really just changed my perspective on this experience and being away from Australia. And it was a big wake-up call in a way. The good thing was during this time we had an Airbnb in Krabi for a few weeks, so it really just allowed me the time to slow down and take the time that I needed to recover. At one point I started to feel a really bad pain in the right side of my face. It started with my jaw and then eventually just became like the whole right side of my face. And after a couple of days, I woke up with the most intense pain in my ear. So we went to the hospital and they sorted me out straight away. I had gotten an ear infection which had spread into my cheek, jaw area and was making it feel like I had been punched in the face. I needed to have antibiotic injections and be put on the drip over the course of 3 separate treatments on 3 separate days. After my first treatment, I immediately felt so much better. The pain went away and I also felt a lot less sick and the best that I'd felt in like 3 weeks.
Just had my second treatment for the antibiotics slash painkillers and anti-inflammatory, whatever they put in me. I'm honestly feeling so much better already. This morning was one of my worst mornings. I was in so much pain. Yeah, I think tonight's gonna be the best sleep that I've had, at least for the last week. Yeah, I'm just keen to start feeling better and get my energy back up. The frogs and insects are so loud.
I just want to add that the medical treatment that I received here in Thailand was the best medical treatment that I've ever gotten in my life. I didn't have to book, I got in straight away, which is a very nice change from Australia, where I've often had to wait in the waiting room for up to an hour, even with an appointment. I was attended to by like 4 women who were there to assist me and help me in any way that they could. They spoke English really well and really clearly explained what was wrong, the treatment process and how much it would cost. Honestly, it wasn't that cheap, so if you are going anywhere, just please make sure that you have travel insurance. Shit happens all the time, and yeah, having that really helped me out. They sent me home with more antibiotics and other medication to take over the following week, but after that I was fine. We didn't have any more problems and I was ready to get out and take on the world. As I spent a big chunk of our time in Krabi inside the Airbnb, we decided to extend our stay by another week, which I'm so glad we did. I honestly love Krabi. It's such a cool place, so if you're coming to Thailand, I would highly recommend visiting Krabi. There is so much to do, including going to Railway Beach, Ao Beach, rock climbing, hiking, checking out the emerald pools and hot springs, temples, markets. Krabi was also where we applied for our visa extension at immigration.
So today we're just trying to do a few important things that we need to get done. I had to get a SIM card for my phone, so we've done that this morning. We've gone to the bank and now we're just at immigration in Krabi, trying to extend our visa. So we've done what we can to prepare. We've printed out some things. You have to have a copy of your passport, a copy of your visa, things like that. So hopefully it all goes smoothly and we can stay another 30 days in Thailand.
It was a super quick and easy process. The only problem that we had was that Bob's passport was given the wrong stamp when we first arrived in Thailand. So it took a little bit longer just to sort that out. But besides that, no problems. Our 30-day extension was approved, giving us a total of 90 days in Thailand before we had to leave the country. Overall, we really enjoyed our time in Krabi, and as cliche as it sounds, there were lessons to be found in those shit moments as well. I hope that if you're thinking of spending a long period of time in another country or in a new place, that this video might just be a little reminder that not everything goes to plan and not everything is going to be perfect from the moment you arrive there. I think it is easy to think that all of our problems will be solved once we have this thing or when we do this thing, but that is just so not true. These last few months have been a journey, to say the least, and I think it's been interesting to see how my perspective on this experience has adapted over time. I definitely don't feel like I'm on holidays anymore, and I think that's a good thing. I am really looking forward to this next chapter. So I'll leave it here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.